Okay, this morning we're going to talk about logos, how important logos are, and how logos are used in our Democratic Party. How is it used, especially in elections? See, slogans and stuff are very important because a slogan has to be catchy. A logo has to be something that grabs your attention. It brings out about how you're going to vote. So Anthony Buckner, we're going to talk about him again. He did something very creative. He took the Democratic logo and the Republican logo and put them together. Now, I'm not talking about side by side. He spliced them. Now, I'm going to tell you how the Project 2025 is affecting Memphis and how Anthony Buckner becomes a major part of it. And I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm just telling you about him. So I don't want nobody saying, oh, she just trying to get that other lady. I don't know that other lady. I would like to meet her. I would even like to meet Anthony Buckner. Nah, I take that back. I met him before. So anyway, Anthony Buckner has done something that no Democratic Party has done. He spliced the top part of the logo, which is the Democratic Party, and then he put the elephant at the bottom and said that, hey, and then he got Conrad Kemp as an endorser, a former Republican chair to endorse a Democratic candidate. See, now this is where it gets interesting. Now, I'm sure that advertisement been flirting around. And you got to ask, why? Where's the Democratic Party at? Where is it at? Because, see, if memory serves me right, they got a new chair. And see, I think his name is Simon. Simon should have wrote him a letter and told him, you can't desecrate or damage or alter a national logo. That right there, that's a deep thing, see, because the National Democratic Party should be knowing about that. But, the state, Rachel, she should have been Rachel. The state Tennessee Democratic Party should be writing Simon and telling Simon, or writing Anthony and telling Anthony, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. But I'm going to even go further, because they ain't going to do it. In Memphis, during the time that I lived there, they had so many ballots. There was the Democratic ballots. And the Democrat, even though they was a Democrat, in fact, one big particular was that they allowed Montreal, what's his name? LaTroy, I forgot. But they let him be on the executive committee, and yet he was also had a private flyer for the Democrats. See, that's a conflict of interest, and it should have been shut down along with all the other ones, because it was so. When Brian was in office, I told him he had to make it the official ballot, even though he said that he didn't know that they could do it, which I thought that was a illegal thing, but he said they could, but I didn't think they could. Even though they Democrats, you can be Democrats, but you have to, it's a way you have to get it. But they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight their friends and stuff like that. Now, why would Anthony Buckner, a Democrat, do that marketing? It's an effective marketing. Oh, it's effective marketing. But it's a deceitful marketing. Because of the simple reason, it's saying that the Democratic Party is now in bed with the Republican Party. Well, we all knew that. We knew that. You know, it's been the way we knew it. We knew it that way because we have had black folks coming to the party, saying white folks too. Danny Kaye ran as a Democrat. He started off as a Democrat, and when he couldn't win, when the Democratic Party didn't let him win, Danny Kaye went and showed his true colors. And he became a Republican. In fact, he's a Trump supporter. And his wife is an immigrant because she's from Persia. And he told me, oh, my wife loved Donald Trump. I wonder how they going to... and then Danny Kaye made a comment on a page, but he unblocked me now. Because he said, when they made a comment about blacks picking cotton, Danny Kaye said, and I quote, he said, black folks there don't have to pick the cotton. We got machines to do it now. They can do the machines. They got some help now. This Danny Kaye in Shelby County. We had Reginald Tate. He's deceased now, but Reginald Tate would start voting Republican. And what did they do? They got him up out of there. So we don't need nobody camouflaging as Democrats being Republicans. But like I said, you notice that Rachel is so boisterous. That's our Tennessee church. She's so boisterous about how she gonna change the Democratic Party. But yet, things like this that needs to be shut down, she ain't doing it. That's why a lot of folks are steady leaving the Democratic Party. Not being a Democrat, but a Democratic Party. So anyway, so now that he got the logo, see, because you know what? One thing I learned is this right here. The Republican Party is just like a Costa Nostra. Don't nothing go in it, around it, or on it unless they get written permission. See, Marsha Blackburn had to get permission to run for the governor. She had to get permission. I'm telling you, every Republican in Memphis, in the state of Tennessee, right now, if they running against anything, they had to get approval from who? Donald J. Trump. So they came up with that idea. They had to find the darkest of darkest. See, Anthony Buckner is dark. See, I don't think they would have got somebody like, my color. Cause see, my color could have been questioned. Am I really black? Am I black? No, they had to get some dog brother. They had to make sure without a doubt, wasn't nobody gonna challenge his blackness. Oh, he dirt black. No, he midnight black. Oh, he midnight black. He black. And he cleaning up his image. He's doing all of this because come next year is the midterm elections. But see, they ain't banking on y'all being smart, you black folks being smart in Tennessee and in Memphis. No, they ain't banking on that. Because if they were banking on that, Anthony Buckner wouldn't be getting away with what he's getting away with. No, that's too much like right. They banking on your ignorance, your laziness, your procrastination, your damaging, your crab-like mentality. That's what they banking on. You said, Samantha, you shouldn't be saying no stuff like that. You shouldn't be saying that. You so wrong for saying that. Yeah, they are. They banking on you not going to the polls. They are so banking on you talking about that woman and bringing up stuff that she don't know. She don't know policy. Do you know it's some black folks that still today that say the reason why they didn't vote for Kamala is because she didn't have a policy. But this orange turd had a concept of a plan. See, that's what's wrong with us. That's what's wrong with black folks. Yeah. So they banking on you to not to be fair. They banking on you not to, they banking on you not to be fair. They banking on you to not endorse Buckner, because he has that 23 years of law enforcement. He black. He went and got married. Hurry up and went and got married. So, you know, because they can't have it where he's an unmarried black man with kids all over. The truth. The truth that he, you know, they don't want nobody to come out and say that, you know, Anthony Buckner only got married because he was running for office. That's just like Tim Scott, Mushmouth, South Carolina. He thought Trump was going. He just knew Trump was going to appoint him as vice president. He just knew he was going to get. He went and married the plainest white woman he could have ever found in America. Looked like he just drove down the street and said, "Hey, you want to get married? Yeah, come on, get in the car." Yeah. But he had to find somebody. They fixing him up, they cleaning him up. See, they ain't nobody talking about, the ones that know him, Anthony Buckner, they ain't talking about the real Anthony Buckner. They want you, they see that smile and that suit, and they say, "Hey, Anthony Buckner is the man for us. He gonna be the black, he gonna be the kunta that's gonna take us and to infiltrate, to make Memphis white." Yeah, y'all the last black city. Have you ever wondered what, you know, come on, half of y'all in Memphis, and this is what I'm talking about. You know, I post political stuff on my social page. By the way, Trump is trying to sign an executive order that says that we can't be doing that no more. But anyway, and I have so many black folks that are, Johnny Martin, you one of them, that'll sit there and say, "What is this? When this happened?" Or inbox me, what's going on? You blacks, and you older than me, you blacks need to stop doing that mess and get up off your butt and find out what's going on in your neighborhood. But now, because it ain't really hit us yet, we sitting up here acting like we still at the picnic when it's dark, ain't no food there, and everybody else in left. But we still trying to dance to some music that ain't there no more. You know, the biggest thing is that when we talk about coons that are infiltrating us, see, we think about religion, black folks in religion, because see, black folks think that they are immune for this, that God, out of all the people in the world, God got them. But you know, the Bible reminds us that, you know, he loved them ones that he freed from the Pharaoh. But when they did wrong, he let them wander in the wilderness for 40 years. But now we don't think that. We don't plan. We still buying expensive cars. We still trying to get big houses. Don't matter if the interest rate is messed up. Now we got to show people that we are not being affected. That it ain't affecting us. We sit here and we listen to folks that say that voting ain't working. Well, now you see. Don't you see that it doesn't matter who you elect in office? Well, now you see. You see it. And we still got folks who are still struggling, sitting up here acting like they okay. Can't pay their car note. Can't pay their house note. Lights getting cut off. They don't want to sit here and say that, maybe I should have voted for that brown woman, you know. No, she wouldn't have did no good anyway. Because see, that's the black mentality. And they hoping you continue to have that slave mentality that, you know what, that the white man is the better man. The white man is the better man. Or better yet, that black one that's being promoted by the white man is the better man. Yeah. That's we gotta stop. Memphis is the only black city in Tennessee. And they have been trying to attack y'all for the longest. Said that y'all crime was so high that it's martial law. But I'm going to tell you something. If you want to fix the crime, it's going to get worse. When that big, beautiful bill come out, folks going to be homeless and stealing. Y'all ain't thinking about that. Folks ain't going to be able to buy food or keep food in their house and going to start stealing. They're going to start stealing out of stores. They're going to start breaking into stores. They're going to start... See, the cause and effect. Y'all so worried about them immigrants. You know, Marsha Blackburn is sitting up here. Here it is. We had a flood in Chattanooga, and in which 4 people died. 1 man got swept away. 4 people died. And the day of the flood, and the day after the flood, you know what she was posting? She didn't post and say, "Oh, my heart feel." Oh, by the way, the 3 people were Hispanics. She said, "Oh." The governor said, "Oh, my heart, my prayers are out for the city of Chattanooga and those who lost." Now, Marsha Blackburn went a little deeper than that. She said, "Hit like if you like ICE deporting people." This Tennessee now. This is where we are going through a major. It was bad. I didn't know about it. I started seeing pictures, and some of the pictures I was seeing that was in my neighborhood, close to my neighborhood, certain areas in my neighborhood, I did see flooding. I didn't think it was that bad, but we made national news. And this would have been a time when Marsha, see, keep in mind now, black folks is infiltrating this too. This would have been a time when you would have saw the compassion of not just for immigrants, but for Tennesseans. For Tennesseans, the white ones, the brown ones, the gays, the whatever. If you don't like them or not. This would have been a perfect time for her to show her compassion. That despite what it is, you know what? I am here for you. Nah, she's still reporting about that southern border that ain't got shit to do with this. One of the major companies in Chattanooga is leaving. Miller. They laying off 150 people. May not be enough, but Miller is the one that make them large cranes and stuff. See, like I said, it's slowly coming down the drain. You get the picture. So, when you vote for people like Anthony Buckner, you just helping Marsha Blackburn demise your life. See, because right now, you know, FEMA is still here. It's here, but it's not like it was when disaster hit. FEMA was on the scene. They came, they helped. Because, see, these people here, they need feed. FEMA going to be called now. They going to be needing. See, now y'all finna see the effect of what Trump did, what Marsha Blackburn signed, and how they trying to get Memphis on board with that. Yeah. So, when you see stuff like this, when you see them splicing, because they got to get y'all the dinosaur. Y'all are, Shelby County is the dinosaur of the black people. We are the dinosaurs. We got a black chair here. She ain't trying to bring black folks together. Everybody else except black folks, she ain't trying to bring nobody else together but her kind. Black folks and Hispanics are trying to come together without the party. See, you don't have to like the Democratic Party, but democracy is on. Don't get it twisted now. And like I said, if you vote for Anthony Buckner next year, you might as well vote for Marsha. You might as well go and give up your civil rights, because I'm telling you, Project 2025 is in effect. And the way they doing it, all these black folks thinking that it ain't gonna affect y'all, but I'm gonna tell you something, and it's a loophole behind what is being done. The Supreme Court didn't touch birthright citizenships like that. but they made it possible for him to deport people of birthright citizenship. Well, you said, well, okay, Samantha, well, I was born here. My family was born here, and you know, hey, my grandmama was born here all the way back to when the ancestors came. If you really look at it, he didn't say first generation birthright, second generation birthright, third generation birthright. He said birthright citizenship. So, and then he putting up that Garcia case should be an eye opener, because he labeled this man a gang in order to have him deported. Now you said, Samantha, what does that have to do with us? It ain't got nothing to do with us. I ain't in no gang. Garcia wasn't either. But see, when they get through and they get rid of what they think is all the Hispanics, they're going to turn it on Haitians, Puerto Ricans, and black folks. Black folks. Puerto Ricans, they're going to start denouncing you as a citizen. Because you're not a citizen, you're a territory. You're not a state, you're a territorial. You're a territorial. So they can denounce you. They can turn around and they're going to start your son. What about them black folks that's in jail? They're going to start working on them. Your son been in jail. He's a gang. Deport him. Then you ain't got to worry about going down to that jail to see him. We're going to have to find him in another country. What about those people who speak out against them? Like me. Y'all know I ain't in no gang. I'm in the AARP. But, get rid of her. Send her to another country. You know, you thinking it's for one person, one race, but it's for brown folks. But you have people like Anthony Buckner that's saying, you know what? They ain't gonna touch me. They like me because they picking, they riding with me, they banking with me, they doing all of this. So I'm gonna run for sheriff, because who better to start exercising Donald Trump? Because he gonna old Kemp. He old Kemp. He gonna old Kemp. Whether he win or not, he gonna old Kemp. See, what's gonna happen is Anthony Buckner, if he win, Kemp gonna pull his coattail. Okay, I help you win. Now you gotta fix me with this. You owe me for this. And then you gonna see the Shelby County Sheriff doing that Gestapo shit. Somebody told me you need to change your last name back to your maiden name. For what? I'm 60 years old. I ain't finna do this shit. I shouldn't have to. We are in a civil war all over again, which they predicted. And it's not whites fighting over blacks. It's Americans trying to save democracy. And if you sit here and you don't say nothing, and you don't do nothing, and you sit here and that God got you, I guarantee you, when slavery becomes a reality in your life, God gonna still have you while you out there picking that cotton and whatever that they want you to do. Y'all better choose and choose wisely.